Hi YouTube, this is my weekly wax burn for the week ending the 1st of December, and in front of you can see burning merrily away a Yankee candle, which is a bit of a departure for me. You will know if you've seen a few of my previous weekly reviews that I'm a great fan of Bath and Body Works candles, Slatkin, White Barn, various names they come under, and less of a fan of Yankee, although I do occasionally burn some of their tarts or the smaller candles. But it's becoming increasingly difficult to get Bath and Body Works candles over here in the UK. They simply refuse to ship them overseas anywhere other than Canada, and for some reasons that I can't understand, the Middle East, I'm guessing financial. And they're even quite difficult to ship using a forwarding agent and a post box, because they're well, they're quite heavy obviously, but there are customs issues as well. We seem to get charged an awful lot of tax on them. So the bottom line is, for a variety of reasons, there's one seller that I use here in the UK, but they're very, very slow in getting each season's candles in, and then they only have a few which sell out very quickly. So although I will continue to stock up when I go to the States, that's not very often, and I figure that I'm really going to have to look at alternate brands to feed my candle addiction, and Yankee is the obvious one, because they're much easier to get hold of in the UK. Although generally I'm less keen on some of their scents. However, I really like this one, which I'd smelt cold a few times in one of the shops stocking them, which I pass often, and in the end I caved in and got this the other day, in fact, and I've burnt it twice for a couple of good longish burns. It's a similar sized tumbler to the Slatkin ones, 12.5 ounce, and I think Slatkin is supposed to be 14 ounce if I'm remembering correctly. But I'm going to talk in a minute about the weights and the sizes of the Slatkin candles. But just keeping with this Yankee for a moment, this is Cherries on Snow, which I really like. It's a fruity scent, fragrance. It's actually quite synthetic smelling, which is always my beef with Yankee. Many of their fragrances, they're much more blended than Slatkin ones, and by that I mean in the sense that the fragrances don't come, fig and passion fruit or tulip rose or whatever, thinking of some of the Slatkin ones. They come with titles, like Summertime or River Drift or what have you, and no real description of what the fragrance notes are meant to be, and frankly some of them are very generic, and I often think smell a bit synthetic. This one smells very synthetic in the sense that it's the sort of cherry scent you get with a fruit sweet or cherryade, something like that. But I actually quite like it, unusually. It's sweet and sour, and just smells. I'm saying taste because it reminds me of the taste of, those kind of cheap cherry candies that I loved as a child. So I am really enjoying this. It's a good burn. The wicks, I've got the tumbler sizes of the 12.5 come with 2 wicks, which is enough to give a decent wax pool. I did buy, a couple of weeks ago, another of the Yankee candles, which I've been burning this week, and this is a smaller size. I don't know what the weight is, but it's their small tumbler. I like tumblers rather than jars, and this one is red velvet, and that comes with 1 wick. And that's a little more awkward to get a decent wax pool, even though it's a smaller circumference. The single wick seems to affect how quickly the wax melts. So I really did have to burn this one for about 5 hours to get a full wax pool that was melting right down the sides. And you can see that it's still even got a little bit of a rim on the sides. The red velvet I like as well. It's a real cakey smell. You can smell sort of dough and buttercream. So in that sense, it's kind of true to life of red velvet. Maybe due to the size, this doesn't have a brilliant throw. I mean, you can smell it. I burned it in the bedroom and it was fine for that, but in a bigger room, I don't think you get a fantastic throw, but I am enjoying it. So I've been burning that this week. The Cherries on Snows had 2 burns, and I also started one of the clear holiday favourites, Evergreen, which I've never had before. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm just kicking myself that I haven't got more stockpiled of these, because you can see I've only burned it one evening and for not that long, and it's burned down quite a lot. Now I will say I am a bit suspicious that these Bath and Body Works candles don't actually live up to the weight, or maybe the weight's the glass jar, because I have to say you seem to be getting less and less wax. I've talked about how difficult it is to burn these candles right to the end, and how you get quite a substantial leftover of wax in the bottom, often about 1/4 to 1/2 an inch, where the metal which is holding the wicks is standing proud of the wax so much that you can no longer keep the flames lit and the wax pool ignited. So the candles are quite wasteful from that point of view. And I also think now they're actually not putting the wax anything up to the top of the jar. You can sort of see where the wax pool was on this when I bought it, which I'm pretty sure is different from a few years ago. But I'm going to get out after this a few of my older ones that I've had in storage and see if that's true, because that seems to be another way that they're kind of short-changing us. But what they're not short-changing on is in the fragrance. I've just taken the lid off that. I can't tell you, the cold throw alone, is completely almost overpowering the Cherries on Snow that's been there burning for a bit straight away. And when I lit it the other evening, the wax pool formed really quickly. Fantastic throw throughout my apartment. And it's a glorious fragrance, a really beautiful non-synthetic pine. The description is the scent of fir needles, winter pine, and a touch of white birch. I don't know about that, but it's just the most gorgeous Christmas pine fragrance. And I think it would actually blend well with other fragrances too, maybe even a floral one. I've got quite a few spring candles. That's the Title Spring from Slatkin & Co., which is a kind of hyacinth crocus type fragrance, and I haven't burned the two together. It seems kind of counterintuitive given one's called spring, but we do sometimes get spring bulbs flowering even by Christmas, and I think that might be a really good fragrance combination. So I'm probably going to give that a try. But this is fantastic. I can see that I'm going to burn it really, really quickly. Certainly putting me in the holiday mood. Then the only other thing that I burned this week was, while I was away, a mini cranberry woods. That was kind of my least favourite. I think there are problems with this small size, but it's just a faintly woody, cranberry, fruity smell, bit watery. Not really doing it for me, but I'll definitely finish it. So I haven't finished anything this week, but I've really enjoyed all the candles I'm burning, and I'll let you know if I finish anything next week as we get into December and the real holiday season. Have a good week. Bye for now.